left school on the Thursday, Easter, and I was at the pit at Blackwall on the Tuesday of next week. Nervous, very nervous before we got in the cage. When you get in the cage, you think, well, this is not so bad, I'm all right. And then the cage goes down into the pit, and I think it was about possibly 1800 foot underground. And you're going down, and I mean, everyone's got the lights out. There's a couple of the instructors had little lights on just to let you see, you know, there's people around you. And then when you were coming down to the bottom level, the lights from the seam were lighting up, and it was like going into the surface again. And when you leave the shaft and start walking into the pit, it starts getting darker and darker, and then your headlight, that's your only light. Through the strike, there was hardship, but there was times when you got together as a body of lads, and it was just good. It was, you know. Well, I just think the police were bullies through the miners' strike, and it doesn't matter where we went, they were pushing the luck. Bobby once actually cracked me out on the picket line, and there's 4 or 5 bobbies gathered together just in front of us in the middle of the road, and one of the bobbies stepped forward and he says, "You're only good for worrying kids and old women." And then he just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And in the finish, I just grabbed my hat off my head. I says, "Get round the back of this church hall." And he was just out to cause trouble. And after that, he must have recognised me and remembered me, because every time we went anywhere, somebody'd say, "There's that Bobby Walter. There's that Bobby, he's looking for you." Well, I got divorced after the strike, shortly after, which I put a lot down to the strike. The lack of money. I mean, my wife at the time, she was a nurse, and she did do a little bit of work to try and keep us afloat through the strike. Remembering we had a mortgage, we had 2 children, and it was just hard. We did have good times. I mean, you made good times. You have children, you try and do what's right for them, but it was still hard and rough. I mean, I had a coal fire. I used to go picketing on a morning, leave the house about 8 o'clock, and me and the lad next door used to go down the beach at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, take a couple of sandbags down, get as much coal as we could to keep the fires on through the day. You got £2 for picketing. That used to go on bread, food for the house. And at the end of the strike, what happened? But all the collieries closed. So, you know, we were proved right. And to say we lost the strike, I think is really out of order, because we had a bully of a Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, and one purpose was to beat the miners, and I don't think she ever did. I think the miners held their own. We knew why we were striking. They were taking our living away from us, and it took every miner to stand against the government to stop it. There was a line you didn't cross, and that was the picket line.